I am the Workforce Specialist Community Engagement Coordinator for the Kennewick School District. And I work with all 3 high schools in Kennewick. Oh yes, thank you, Dr. Ballard, we'll do that. So there's 3 high schools in Kennewick. 2 of the high schools have ASL programs. And so we're grateful for that. We are excited to offer this Zoom today for the Pasco and Kennewick School District's ASL students to learn more about 4 different college options students have to start their career as an ASL interpreter. So joining us today, we have representatives from Spokane Falls Community College, Central Washington University in Ellensburg, Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah, and the University of Northern Colorado in Greeley, Colorado. So I have this in the chat, but as a reminder, I'll ask all cameras and sound to be turned off unless you're a panelist or one of our ASL interpreters. Right now we have Paula Meyer, who's currently interpreting for us, and Shelley Hansen will be joining us a little bit later. So this panel will be recorded for future viewing. And for those who couldn't attend, we'll go ahead and have each college, we'll get about 5 to 7 minutes to share about their school and their program. If a question pops up for you as students while we're going along, take note and either let your teacher or your community engagement manager know, and they can make sure that we'll get your questions answered at the end. We'll have lots of time at the end to answer questions. And as I said, we'll be recording this session for students and staff who couldn't attend, and Anna is going to take care of that for me. So we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to start with Spokane Falls, and we have Holly Schneidmiller, hopefully I said that right. She is an on-campus student at Spokane Falls, and she is the Flying Hands Club president. And Kayla McCaffrey, she is an online student that is in Georgia. So we're glad that they could be here with us today. Thank you.
All right, I am gonna go ahead and share my screen. And, okay. Can everyone see that?
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good for me.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, thank you for the introduction, Debbie. Like she said, I am Holly. I am a 2nd year interpreter training student at Spokane Falls Community College. I'm completely on ground, and I'm also the Flying Hands Club president, which is our ASL club at our school.
And yeah, I'm Kayla, and I am, like it was said, a fully online student, and right now I'm currently in Georgia. And I'm also a 2nd year student, and both of us are about to graduate.
And can you hold on 1 second? The interpreter needed to spotlight Kayla, and so I didn't interpret any of that yet. So just give me 1 second to catch up. So Kayla, you said you're from Georgia, fully online, and a student ready to graduate. Did I miss anything?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. All right, so like we talked about, we're both 2nd year students, so the program is 2 years in length. It is an educational interpreting program, so the training that you get from this program is focused primarily on working with deaf and hard of hearing students in the K through 12 educational system. And then the other really cool thing that this program offers is it prepares students to take the National Educational Interpreter Performance Assessment, the EIPA. That is in 2 parts. So there is a performance assessment and a written assessment. The performance assessment you will be prepared to take after graduation. The really cool thing about this program is the written assessment. They prepare you to take while we're still in the program.
Can you hold on one moment, Holly? One person can't see the interpreter, but we're both spotlighted. So I'm not sure why they're not seeing me. 1 second. Okay. Go ahead and then maybe someone else can. Oh, it's all fixed.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. So basically the written performance or the written part of the EIPA, you are prepared to take while still in school. So that happens in your spring semester. And we actually have a 95% passing rate, success rate, which is really awesome. I will say the EIPA is an assessment, not a certification. Certification happens at the national level and not the college level. So just a little bit about the program, like me and Kayla talked about, we're both doing kind of different tracks. So Kayla is fully online, I'm fully in person. The really cool thing about online, you can do synchronous or asynchronous, meaning if you are a full-time employee, you have a full-time job, you can access the lessons and the videos later. And you can work around your schedule in that way. And then there's also an option to do a mixture of both online and in person with instructor permission.
Yeah, and the application process, it starts approximately in January, and then the application is due approximately in March. And then after that due date, 60 days after that, you'll get your recognition of if you are accepted or if you are not. And that happens typically at the end of April or in May. And the program will start fall of that year that you apply.
So you can go one of 2 tracks with this program. So for those who don't have any college, you can earn your associate's degree along the way. And then for those who are coming in with maybe your AA or higher education, you would earn a certificate. I will say both of these, you're getting the exact same classes, exact same resources. It's just one you're coming in without college and one you're coming in with college. So they're not different in any way as far as what you're getting from the program.
And then we did say that the program is 2 years long, but entering into the program, you do have prerequisites that you need to complete. All are offered through SFCC, or you can bring in those prerequisites from another college or university. So the first one is ASL 121, ASL 122, and then ASL 123. Those ASL requirements typically are also from other colleges known as ASL 1, 2, and 3. And you need a certain passing grade with those to get that prerequisite taken care of. And then if you don't have any specific college courses that you already have for those prerequisites, you can take a exam to pass through those, especially for people that maybe have deaf parents or you have a great background in ASL but no formal training. You can take those exams and they're $160 and it's on a pass or fail basis. Also, the other prerequisites are Psychology 100, Math 107, and English 101. This is especially because it's an educational interpreting focus, so those kind of general education requirements can help you be a successful educational interpreter.
All right, so say that you are interested in pursuing an ASL profession, or maybe want to learn more, but you don't necessarily want to interpret. SFCC also offers a paraeducator program with an ASL emphasis. The program is also 2 years in length, similar to our ITP program. And for more information, Bonnie Wagner and Sandy Ross are the program leads, and they would have more information for you. It's typically an online program, but can be offered on ground depending on the course or the quarter.
And so why Spokane? As you know, I am from Georgia, but I did take the EIPA written in Spokane, and I did fall in love with the beautiful city. And it just has so much to offer. There's the neighborhood feel community, and also it does have some city life, and there's amenities galore, amazing food, wonderful schools, and several parks and shops, and a thriving music and art community as well.
And from someone who is from Spokane, I can say one of the things that I love about Spokane is the beautiful nature we have around us. We have forests, we have hiking trails, lots to do in all types of seasons. In the summer, you have hiking, biking, walking. In the winter, you have skiing. We have a skiing mountain close by. And so just lots to do, especially if you're an outside nature buff. Spokane is definitely a good place for that.
And then who would we also be without our thriving deaf community? There is a great, beautiful deaf community in Spokane area, and they help inform us, and through interaction that helps facilitate our learning and development as interpreters and fluency in the language. And so it's no, what word am I looking for? It's no coincidence that our thriving deaf community also makes our program very, very great.
Yeah. So I hope you will check us out, and definitely if you have more questions, we'll be sticking around for that Q&A afterwards, and we'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. Thank you for letting us come and share with you.
Thank you, Holly and Kayla. I appreciate your support and being here today. Would you mind adding those two emails of Bonnie's and the other person for your program into the chat?
Yes, I can do that.
Have that.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent, thank you. Our next presenter is Dr. Carolyn Botrytis. She's the American Sign Language Program Coordinator at Central Washington University in Ellensburg. It's a really local college, not local to us, but just a few hours away from where we are in Eastern Washington. So thank you for being here, Dr. Taralynn.
One moment. Can you see the screen? Okay, perfect.
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you for your time, everyone. As you just heard, we are in Central Washington, right in the middle of the beautiful state of Washington. Ellensburg is a very small town. However, it's very unique. There is a lot of farmland around. Lots of students, college town. I'm a farmer myself, so many farmers where we are. And we kind of learn about country life, and then sometimes we can go to Spokane for special events, or we can go to the big city in Seattle. So it's really nice to be centrally located. I'm very proud of CWU, and we were the first degree to offer sign language in deaf studies. And so we don't just, we focus on general studies. For example, if you want to become an interpreter, if you want to become an ASL teacher, or an audiologist, a school counselor, all of those opportunities that involve sign language. And I'll give you the big picture. So if you decide to, that you start off on one thing, becoming an interpreter, and then you decide to switch over, then you are able to do that and still have taken your classes. So it's just a well-rounded program, and lots of opportunity for becoming immersed in the classes. And then there's also the ability to learn about other sign languages, BSL, and interact with other individuals throughout the state and the US. So those are the two different tracks that we have. There's a major, which means there's 52 credits, and that includes general education. And that is 180 credits total, which is a 4-year program. And then the prerequisites is ASL first year. And then if you transfer in from another college, then you would already have some of those prerequisites. And then also if you've taken ASL classes in high school, then you would do a placement test starting in the second year if you are at the correct level. So there would be a unique setting for you as well. We do hybrid, online, face-to-face, and we also have live classroom, which is students are actually in a classroom, but some are also virtual or hybrid if they're not able to come in person. If someone doesn't feel well, or someone is an interpreter and they're going to work, or they have other commitments, they can do Zoom live. So there are different approaches for learning, lots of opportunities depending on where you are at. So feel free to contact me. And at the end, you're welcome to email me. And then, yeah, so also the other two names that were in the chat box, you can get a hold of those individuals as well. So you can take a picture of this, which will be helpful if you need more information. And I will also try to include as much information in the chat as I can. So we are working as graduates, instructors as well. It's just starting. And we started this in 2020, but it's our dream to have a graduate program for students inside Washington and also in other states as well. So the students, it depends on where they're coming from. They could be taking classes in a high school, at a high school level, college in high school, which is called CIHS. And then there's also Running Start, which is when you're a junior and senior in high school, and then you also take college classes at the same time. So again, if you want more information, you're welcome to contact me. And then outcomes, deaf and sign language studies learning outcomes. You can read those here. I won't go over all of those. And this is kind of next what it's like when you graduate, what type of careers could you go into once you take our classes and get your degree. A lot of people want to become interpreters, which is great, but then sometimes someone is taking classes with the intention to be an interpreter, and then they say, oh, that's not cut out for me. So you have so many different options.
instead of just becoming an interpreter. And there are, American Sign Language is a foreign language, and it does take many years to become native-like, but this program is a great opportunity to get your foundation and have a strong development in the language of American Sign Language. So you're learning about linguistics. And again, we are a really small town, but 1/4 will be completely focused within the deaf community. And so all of the students are required to work with an individual or an agency or organization or school and use sign language. That is a requirement for one of the courses. And then you will receive help with coordinating that and reaching out in the community and being a part of the community. There's also a sign language minor, which is 30 credits, and that means 3 second year. So first year, there's prerequisites, and then the second year will be your minor focus. So you'll have 3 and then 3 more between those couple of years, which is a total of 30 credits, 15 and 15. And you will see more information as you research our program. And then this is a little bit more, I know I'm going really fast, but I want to give time to the other presenters, and I can send everyone copies of the slides. And also we have this opportunity, upper division ASL courses. And the way that we develop the classes is we contact other ASL teachers and interpreters, and we ask them, what do you wish you had learned in college? What did you not have that you wish you did have? And we start developing classes that way. And I just mentioned this one, there's a 300 level, and this one showing on the screen is a 400 level upper division ASL course. So this is based on real world or current issues in the deaf world. We use YouTube. We talk about deaf culture. It's a very unique class. And every quarter we have different exciting topics that we touch on. For deaf sign language, the major is the EIPA, and there's 9 courses total. And so you can see more about this information up here on the slide. And then there's also a research paper that is included with this. We have so many outside class ASL related resources. We have our ASL club. ARC is it's through Zoom, but it's kind of a lab. And it can also be inside the classroom where you can work with a tutor. You work with deaf community members, there's deaf coffee chat. And so there are different events and resources that you can improve your skills just by attending. If you're interested, there is an application process, and some people say, oh, I missed the deadline, but that's okay. Still contact me and we will work everything out for the next step for you, if you'd like. And then if you have any questions, please contact me. Come and join us. We also have a Facebook account. You can check us out on Facebook. That is all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Petrites. I appreciate you being here. Next, we'll be hearing from
You're very welcome.
Dr. Ballard. He is from Utah Valley University. He is the ASL and Deaf Studies Program Director and the Assistant Professor Department of Languages and Culture. Thank you for being here, Dr. Ballard. I'm excited to have Utah Valley here. My son graduated from there just a few years ago, so it has a special place in my heart. Thank you.
Shelley, we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. There we go. Is that better?
Yes.
Super. Helps if I put my mic on. Great. Thank you for inviting me to participate in this dialogue with you and your students. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm super excited. So I'm Dr. Ballard. This is my name sign. And we have various program directors, ASL Deaf Studies here, UVU. So we're super excited. I think really, I don't want you to look at me so much, but it's really important to build relationships with people and get to know who these people are, who the faculty are. So, you know, who your teachers are, getting to know one another as students and faculty is really important to build that rapport so that we've got, you know, you feel like you're at home. You feel like you're part of a family. So I'm just going to give some brief information briefly about me. I was born hearing, lost my hearing later. Spinal meningitis was the cause of my deafness when I was 13 months old. I had to rebuild and learn how to walk, learn how to eat, everything. I had to start over like newborn baby again. So that's what happened. So at home, what it looked like, my parents were speaking in English and we were using home signs, gesturing and home signs. And then when it was time for me to go to school, I had the oral method until middle school. And then at middle school, when I transitioned to high school, there was a bilingual program. In college, I graduated from the University of Colorado with a BA degree in communications and a master's degree from Spokane. From Gonzaga University. So go Zags. Go Zags for life. But so I graduated with a communications degree there. Then I had a PhD in philosophy from Drake University. So that's a little bit on my background. So that's a little about me. Personally, I love to be outside. I love Spokane. It's a beautiful place to go outside. Coeur d'Alene is gorgeous. It's right next there. There's the lakes, the mountains. So those are nearby. Same here in Utah. Utah Valley Community College, we're near the mountains. They're just right by. You can go walk, hiking, fishing. I do my grading while I'm fishing. I'm out there fishing and grading things. So I do that a bit. Think about how I can interact with my students. It's a perfect balance for me to be doing that out in nature. So that's a little bit about me. Right now, there are 2 full-time faculty members who are deaf and 15 deaf adjunct instructors. So we really have a large influence of native signers, which is great. So we can talk about the program next. I was really thinking about what would be the best way to just really succinctly give you all this information in just one kind of, set of website information. And so our academic programs, our degree programs, I put them into one area. And then we have got also international deaf studies. There's a conference today with students, international students who are involved in this. So I set up these 2 QR codes for that. And that international conference is every 2 years. So a little bit about our program. We've got 225 students in our degree programs. So that is large. That's a big number. We teach about 800 students total. So again, there's general studies, there's minor studies, there's program studies, there's things that we do for fun. I know maybe somebody will date a deaf person and learn sign language from them. And so things can just there's a real range of reasons that people are learning ASL, but it's a great program that we've got. So UVU, the entrance, really we call it open enrollment at the university. Which means that high school graduate or GED, if you've got that, you would send it into the university, and it tends to be expected. It's rare. I think that we've got like 9 or 8% acceptance of students, something like that. So we're very open. Okay, so just a second, hold on. You said 8 to 9% acceptance. Sorry, that was an interpreter error. 98 to 99% acceptance rate for students. Yep. 98 to 99% acceptance rate for students who apply. So that is great. And part of the reason is because it's a dual mission university. We've got on campus community college as well. So we've got the community college and the 4-year university and a master's degree program all in one building, all within one campus. And so because of that, we have those 2 missions. So we have open enrollment. So that is a great benefit for participating in the program. We've got exchange students, we've got the business school, we have nursing and dental hygienists. We have a whole host of programs. And then we've got deaf studies, which is huge. So it's just a fantastic combination. So I wanted to talk about our program. We're not technically an ITP for interpreters. We're not technically considered an ITP program. We do offer an interpreting degree, but that has an emphasis. It's not like the degree itself is an interpreting degree. The degree is actually a deaf studies degree. We've got general deaf studies and then deaf studies with an interpreting emphasis. And the reason that we decided to set it up that way was because without deaf people, you don't need interpreting. So the foundation is we're studying deaf people. And then with that foundation, that knowledge base, those skills with interacting with the community, then you can focus on interpreting and not the other way around. ITP programs tend to focus on interpreting. And so we intentionally set ourselves up with this foundation of deaf studies. And then we're incorporating, the heart of the community as well as the interpreting piece. So we've got what's called ASL and Deaf Studies Secondary Education, which means people who want to teach middle school, who want to teach high school ASL. And there's a little bit of cultural involvement in that class as well. We offer a licensed degree program for that. So those match well with the College of Education. It's not just us alone doing that. We are partnering with the College of Education. And the College of Education, they do half and we do half. And so we contribute both parts to that degree for education. So that's super cool, that licensure. The other degree that we offer is called Mainstream Integrated Studies. Integrated Studies. And that means that you've got 2 minors that combine to create the major. So if you are like, gosh, I want to major in theater, drama, and then I want to major in deaf studies as well, you've kind of created your own degree in a sense. So we call that integrated studies. So if you wanted to minor in English and minor in deaf studies, or business and deaf studies, you can pair those together to create your major. So that's really neat. So a lot of students choose that option. It's very popular because they might not be interested in interpreting, they may not be interested in teaching, but they want to do is they might want to make the, they want life to be better for the deaf community. And so by using that integrated degree, they're able to do that. And of course, we offer other minors. So fingers crossed. It depends on the state legislature if they're going to approve it, but we're going to start offering a master's degree in bilingual education, deaf ed. So that is in the works at the moment. I can't commit, can't promise because we're waiting on the legislature to approve those items, but I'm excited about that. That would be so fabulous. Another wonderful thing that students would love to do is every year we go to Gallaudet University. It's called DME, Domestic Multicultural Experience, DME. So that means we go. It's for 3, it's a 3-credit class. We have a pre-trip. We actually take the trip. And then after the trip, we have work to do. So it's a chance to go visit Gallaudet. And we're hoping to expand that to other state schools, larger deaf community areas in the US to be able to expand our DME program. So that's cool. So that is UVU in a nutshell.
A time to, thank you, Dr. Ballard. Thank you for being here and taking time out of your schedule to help our students learn more about UVU. Appreciate that. Next, we'll be hearing from Kate Beilmann, who is from the University of Northern Colorado. She's the administrative coordinator and academic advisor for the ASL and Interpreting Studies department there. Thank you, Kate, for being here and adjusting with the time and all. So thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. Pasco High School, is everyone still awake and in the world and connected over there? Thank you for all of your time and listening to what I would look at as the buffet table of life and opportunities with we call cousin programs across the nation that have phenomenal programs within their own right. So what we are giving you today is that buffet table opportunities as you grow and determine what will be the best fit for where you want to take your future. The program with UNC is actually a 4-year program specifically designed for ASL to English interpretation. Our program has 120 credits and 73 of those are in the major courses. 31 are within what we call the liberal arts curriculum, your math, history, science, all of those that are involved. with 16 credits that we use as minor, concentration, and elective pieces. The program consists of 11 semesters, and we are a tri-semester system where we go fall, spring, and summer. We have both the traditional method where students can be on campus in beautiful Greeley, Colorado, and as well as online. During our summer portion, all of our students from across the nation and in campus come together for a 4-week time to do an intensive portion of the program that not only increases the use of the ASL because you're directly connected and immersed in culture and use of the language, but also sets your skills and readiness for your fall semester as you move forward. Our program in Greeley has a person had the vision over 20 years ago to create the very first distance program in the nation. So we like to see presentations from our cousin communities because there are so many opportunities now that really support the deaf community and provide that quality education for students that either wish to become interpreters or work like many of my presenters have spoken about, that they want to have the use of the language coupled with a different type major in their life. So I'm really thrilled that you've all sat with the group today in these presentations and have the opportunities to look at all the options that are available for you as you move forward into working towards your adult career life. I will just keep mine very brief like this and give you the opportunity to reach out if you have more questions as you're researching some of these things. I highly recommend all of you look at all of those opportunities and reach out, find out what is the best position that you want to put yourself into as you take those next steps excitingly after high school. I may speak with generality here and say many of us as adults are still finding what our place is in life. Be excited about life, find out many opportunities and go in all the directions that are available for you. Use the resources you have with the great amount of people that have presented today for resources to be able to explore more and find out everything that you need that you can do for options for yourself. Really appreciate your time today and excited for you all that you are in this position of life and finding the best place that will work for you. So thank you very much. I'll put our information in the chat and feel free to reach out. I know this is a lot of information today, but recognize you're at the buffet table of life. Eat it up, figure out what works for you. You may taste something that may not be so good. That's okay. Go to the next piece and keep on trying. Life is great, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you for sharing, Kate. Appreciate you spending the time this morning. So now we have time for questions. If anyone has some questions they want to enter in the chat, that would be awesome. We've also added in the chat everyone's contact information and links to the programs that presented today. And as a quick reminder, we've recorded this, so we'll be putting that out as soon as we get it all arranged and set up. Dr. Ballard seconds the comment to explore your goals. We're a quiet group today. Anything? Here's a question to Dr. Ballard. What is campus life like? Can you tell us about dorms? Do students have to live in dorms at UVU?
Great question. So we have a lot of students who are from out of state, and we have students coming from, I want to say 117 countries from all over the world. So they all come to our campus and there's no dorms. And so the way that that works is there is cheap housing options in the area. Normally students will have roommates from anywhere to 6 roommates, all sharing the rent and the expenses in local housing near campus. And if you did come, you would definitely be able to find a place to live even without us having dorms. There is also, it's all one building. Our campus is one building. So it's a very small campus and you never really have to go outside in the wintertime. You just kind of navigate through the building. Everything's connected. And I think for out-of-state students, it's pretty inexpensive, about $8,000 to $9,000 per year or semester. I'm not sure which, but that is a pretty reasonable expense for college. And then in-state, maybe 6,000 or so to 9,000, which is really a great opportunity to be able to get a degree for such a low cost. There are 3,000 to 4,000 students on campus. And we just graduated the largest class with 11,000 students. Yeah, so one of the largest classes, yeah. So just clarifying, 43,000 total students and 11,000 just graduated. So again, we have no dorms, but lots of restaurants on campus, lots of campus life. So yeah, really a great fun opportunity, and I'm happy that you're here.
I could add Utah Valley University has some great options for out-of-state students for scholarship opportunities. And they can almost get in-state tuition because I have personal experience with that. If anybody had any questions, if you're interested in UVU, there are lots of options for getting your tuition down when you go to a Utah school. We had another question from Ms. McHugh's class. If a student wanted to major in child psychology, can one of these programs offer a minor in ASL? I guess that could be open to anyone.
And I can go ahead and answer that. And this is Dr. Taralynn. Our program has a minor in sign language, and hold on one moment, please. The chat is just blocking the interpreter's view. So you can minor in ASL, but also do performance psychology education as your major. There are lots of different degree options. And then whatever your major is, you can then minor in American Sign Language. And then you can also, if you decide that you love it, you can do a double major. So education plus deaf studies or sign language studies. And then also wanted to add that in Central Washington University, we're pretty good with the cost of living. It's a little bit cheap, one of the less expensive places to live in Washington State, which will help you save money, of course. And then also, we have lots of sunshine in this area, and it's a great, you know, we have great average temperatures. You can get outdoors and take walks, and then also study outdoors as well. And some students major in, they get a degree in beer, how to manufacture and grow beer and hops, and they want to be able to learn about hops and growing and making their own beer and having a company, but also to know how to sign to communicate with their customers. And to answer the question in the chat, can you become a school counselor from CWU? Yes, you can. So you can get your PhD or your master's program through CWU. And you can definitely look at the website for more information. And Debbie, we can't hear you if you're talking to us.
I was, thank you. I was just looking through to see if I was missing any other questions. Can I become a drama teacher for the deaf through UVU?
And Dr. Ballard is saying, I want to say yes. We do have a large educational program, licensure program that is a drama education basis. And so what we have committed to is kind of a drama license as a teacher, and then minoring in deaf studies, which includes American Sign Language. And so putting those two tracks together, and then having the opportunity to teach at different campuses, to go to residential schools for different opportunities. And that is definitely an option for whoever typed that in the chat to answer your question. And that's a great question, an application question about how you can apply your skill and knowledge, because that's what we need more of, is individuals learning sign language. We do need more interpreters, of course, and more ASL teachers, but we also need more people in general that are aware of deaf needs, deaf culture in every field of life, not just those two main ones. So if you minor in deaf studies, that is just phenomenal, that you would be able to communicate and use sign language to benefit the deaf community as a whole. And it definitely builds community relationships when someone knows how to sign.
I'd like to thank everyone. We're reaching the end of our time, and I want to be respectful of all of our presenters' time and our interpreters' time. Thank you for the teachers and the students who logged on today, our community engagement manager, my partners in the Pasco School District. I appreciate them so much for their support in this event as well. Please reach out to your family or to your teachers and these programs that have spent the time. If you have any questions, their contact information is in the chat, and we'll be getting this recording out to our ASL teachers as soon as we can. Thank you again, and I hope everybody has a beautiful Wednesday. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.